What's up, party people?
Hello, hello, hello.
So, our girl Murder Juice has a tale for us.
I do. Can you imagine showing up to church early in the morning as you're getting ready to do a fitness class, and suddenly you're attacked with a hammer by none other than a cop? As you're struck in the head repeatedly with the hammer, your last vision is a police officer wearing full tactical gear. I bet Missy Beavers didn't expect her life to end that way either. Missy was a 45-year-old mother of three daughters. She was married to a man named Brandon Beavers. They lived in Red Oak, Texas, which is east of Midlothian, Texas. She was a teacher for students with special needs, and then she changed up her career and started sharing her love of fitness with other people. She was loved by everyone and made a huge difference in so many other people's lives. So, how could her life have ended so violently? And how is it still unsolved? On April 19th, 2016, Missy Beavers arrived at the Creekside Church in Midlothian to prepare for a fitness class she was teaching. 30 minutes later, her students walk in and find Missy in a pool of blood and puncture wounds to her head and chest. Surveillance cameras throughout the church show a person wearing police tactical gear vandalizing the church. The person entered the church about 30 minutes prior to Missy arriving and was lying in wait for Missy to walk in that fateful morning. There's tons of surveillance footage, and the case spawned thousands of tips. But how is it that there are only a few leads, and still 9 years later, Missy's murder remains unsolved? No arrests, no suspects, no persons of interest. So what we know about the case. Missy...
Um,
Yeah. What?
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no. What were you going to ask?
No, I was going to say I know this case, and I'm so glad you brought it because it's crazy to me. Because this person they're in true police tactical gear is caught on camera, and they have never identified this person.
Don't never. Missy used social media to update her fitness classes. Apparently, the night before, after looking at the weather, Missy decided to move the fitness class in the morning to the indoors at the church since there were to be storms that morning. The class was usually held in the parking lot. So there was a short notice change from outdoors to indoors, and it was posted in her Facebook group. Conveniently, the camera outside the church was not working, but the indoor cameras were working. Surveillance footage taken at 3:50 a.m. on April 18th, 2016 showed the suspect walking in the church's hallways, occasionally smashing glass and attempting to open doors lining the church hallway. The suspect wore what appeared to be SWAT police outfit, tactical gear from head to toe, including a police-marked vest, a helmet, and a black pair of gloves. Police later determined that the suspect used a pry bar to smash glass and open the side door of the church. The building doesn't have an alarm system, so no one was ever notified of the broken door, and it is believed the suspect entered through that side door. This unknown individual is seen on camera slowly pacing the empty, dark hallways of the church. As he or she is walking in the hallways, the camera catches a glimpse of a hammer, crowbar, or something hammer-like in their left hand. The individual doesn't spend really any amount of time in any particular room or hallway or doorway and just appears to be wandering around aimlessly and waiting. Missy arrived at the church around 4:18 a.m. on April 18th and is seen on the surveillance cameras entering the church to prepare for her fitness class. Missy is completely unaware of the person already inside the church, presumably waiting for her. Surveillance footage reportedly shows Missy walking down the church hallways, carrying in her workout gear before her murder. Although this specific footage has not been released to the public by the Midlothian police. The Midlothian police have also not revealed where Missy and the suspect crossed paths. It is, however, presumed that her fatal attack was caught on camera. The autopsy determined that Missy died of of multiple punctures to her head and chest. Investigators have not officially said if they know what type of weapon was used in killing Missy, but they have led to, in interviews, suggesting that it's some sort of hammer or mallet. When her students arrived at 5 a.m., they found her dead. At 5:06 a.m. is when one of the students made the 911 call to the dispatchers. Authorities initially suspected Missy was killed during an attempted robbery, but the church confirmed nothing was missing, and it was determined that nothing was missing of Missy's either. Her purse was still there, her wedding ring was still on her finger, nothing was stolen. The police set to work and analyzed the footage, and it became clear that robbery wasn't the motive and Missy was the actual target.
That's crazy to me that somebody made this look so random. But there's too many coincidences. There's too many things that lined up that it's there's no way it can be random. I think this person knew her.
I do too. The analysis of the video causes police to estimate the height of the person from the top of the headwear to the boots to be between 5'2" and 5'7". And the killer is a little on the heavier side. As for the gear, police aren't sure if it was authentic or not. The person in the video appears to have a unique walk that is indicative of some type of injury which affects the right leg or foot.
Mm-hmm.
Their foot turned outwards, more predominantly on the right foot. Investigators are interested in people who fall within that height range and have a similar walk or gait that may have a similar walk or gait at the time of Missy's murder. Police wants to make everybody know that this is a suspected injury and could have been just a temporary condition that caused them to walk that way. Police said the suspect used a crowbar to smash glass and open the side door, which I already said, so I don't know why I'm repeating that again.
I'll edit it out.
Police have not been able to determine if the person on the church surveillance video was a man or a woman. Many believe that the person walked like a woman, and the police make notes in their reports that states certain portions of the video footage, the suspect appears to have a feminine sway when they walk.
Okay. You watched the surveillance tape.
I did.
I didn't notice that.
I didn't either. I didn't notice a feminine walk. It's hard to tell between the duck feet walk that I did notice if it was a man or a woman.
Right. You can tell there's something strange about their gait.
Mm-hmm.
But making it distinctly feminine, the only way you could do that is if this person was wearing heels. Because I'm pretty sure when you're just walking around, I mean, unless you constantly swing your hips, there's no real feminine
right
gait. I mean, that's kind of dumb.
I pulled a video of I didn't add it. I was going to add it in here and I didn't. I pulled a video of women police officers wearing the SWAT gear.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to show you, but I forgot to add the link. So I guess we're not going to do that. But there's no difference in the wearing the gear. Mm-hmm. You can't tell who the women are and who's the men. So,
and that's what I was going to say is, in all honesty, in that type of equipment, you become genderless.
Mm-hmm. I think the only thing that points towards a woman is the size. Most men are over 5'7".
True, very true. But maybe this is just a small man, and maybe she scorned him in some way, and
True. That is true.
because there's just too many. I remember this case. There's just too many coincidences. Like they were there just by chance, tearing shit up, and decide, oh, hey, the yoga teacher's here, exercise teacher's here. I'm gonna just kill her.
Right. No, I
That's
I agree with
crazy.
you. Surveillance cameras throughout the church show the person wearing tactical gear. You're gonna have to edit that out too. Where was I?
That is okay.
Oh, because I scrolled back up looking for that link.
Oh,
Gotta find my spot again.
yeah.
Surveillance videos at a business nearby the church, which happens to actually be a gun shop, showed a vehicle in the parking lot hours before Missy was murdered. Investigators described the vehicle as a 2010 to 2012 Nissan Altima or Infiniti G37. Police said the vehicle had been seen driving around the business, turning its lights on and off. It sat parked at the business for a while, but the license plate can't be made out, so it was altered or covered up, or somehow they were able, because there's a clear shot. You can find the video footage of this vehicle as well.
Hmm.
um and in the video footage, the clear shot of the back of the car, the numbers and letters on the thing are not really visible, almost like they're faded or worn out, so you can't really make out what it says.
So, okay, evidence number three that this person knew what they were going in there to do. This is
Mm-hmm.
not a rob. It might have started out as a robbery, but I really don't think so. I think they knew she was going to have to be in early. She was going to be in early, and they were ready. I
Right.
mean, they blocked out their anything that would identify them other than the type of car, but they're not even sure what type of car it is.
Mm-mm. No.
Yeah.
There was also several tips that came from the fitness students saying that when they were all arriving to the church for the fitness class, a dark colored SUV pulled out of the parking lot like high rate of speed, leaving the church.
Well, there's your assailant.
But these tips led nowhere. Of course, all of us true crime fanatics know that the police focus first on the significant other. Police
Hmm.
discovered that Missy and her husband, Brandon, had been having marital and financial problems. Several reports indicate that Missy was having several affairs outside of her marriage. This gives Brandon a motive, but he provides an airtight alibi. It turns out Brandon was 600 miles away on a fishing trip, and he had been there for several days on the morning that Missy was killed.
That doesn't mean he's not involved. It
True.
just means he didn't physically do it.
Right. And he's a taller man than the person in these videos.
Mm,
So it was not, the person in the video is not
definitely,
linked
yeah,
to him.
yeah, definitely
Authorities
not
were
him.
also suspicious of Brandon's father, Randy. In the weeks following the murder, Randy took a blood-soaked shirt to the local dry cleaner. He told the dry cleaner that the blood was from a dog fight. Nonetheless, the dry cleaner contacted the authorities. Authorities issued a warrant, had the shirt tested, and confirmed it was actually dog blood. However, the police weren't 100% satisfied because they continued to kind of investigate him.
Hmm.
Randy matches the height, the weight, and he walks with a limp with his feet pointed outward.
Oh, okay.
However, he had a solid alibi for the morning of Missy's murder as well. He was in California. However, his phone has never been pinged to find out. They never really dug into his location. And from where they were in Texas to where they were in California was 7-8 hour drive. So he could have
Mhm.
done it. Some people also speculate that the killer is someone Missy was romantically involved with, or that it was one of these people that she was having an affair with's significant other.
All very plausible. These are all very plausible things.
Mm-hmm. It's difficult to believe that 9 years later we have not made an arrest, stated Midlothian Chief Police Carl Smith. I will tell you that we have not ruled out or confirmed any one path or the other. Police also stated that they did not have a suspect. The police also stated that they did have a suspect, but they have recently cleared them with a solid alibi, and there's no further updates. So I have.
Well, I hate to sound like this because it's terrible, and I know it's going to sound victim blaming. I'm not blaming
Right.
her, but I there are absolutely so many different things
Right.
that would absolutely contribute to the reason why somebody would do this.
Right. I agree. So I'm going to share the videos here for anybody that hasn't seen them. I mean, if I had to say anything, I think this person is a man if we're looking at the way they walk.
Right. So trying
And he's got two things in his hand. He's got a hammer in the left hand here. And there's something in this hand that he's trying to pry the door open with.
it could be a
And
pry
then he
bar.
sticks it into his vest. That's what he's doing right there. Sticking it into the vest. And he sticks the hammer into the vest as well. And he just kind of wanders around.
Okay, I can see where they would say possibly female.
You see it?
Um
I still don't.
because it's kind of the way that he lumbers. It's kind of like how a very obese woman would walk.
Okay.
But I think it's a man. But I'm trying to figure out, like, nobody just goes to rob a church, like, because there's no money in a church. There's
Well,
no
they've determined that they were there for Missy. Whoever this is was there because of Missy.
right. It has to be.
Mm-hmm. And see, I'm trying to see what that is. What was in the hand there?
Let's run it back a little bit.
They're clearly banging on the door or window with the hammer, but what is in this other hand? It's a box shape.
Yeah, it is, and it doesn't look like a brick or cement or a weight in any way.
No. And then let's see. Go back to this and watch the video of the car again. And then here is the
video of a suspicious car on the morning a mother and fitness trainer was murdered inside a Midlothian church. Could it provide the answer that has become really a national murder mystery? Hi, and good evening, everybody. I'm Steve Eager, first on Fox.
So I think that the car in the gun store, I think that the purpose of them being in that gun store parking lot is that they were going to rob the gun store and then take a gun to the church with them. That's what I think.
Okay, that makes more sense than they were just going around and smashing shit up.
And they realized that there was a security system and didn't actually complete what they were wanting to do.
Nope, ended up just killing her.
Mm-hmm. So
I like the theory. I like the
I
theory
do
that
too.
it's the lover.
So I have all my little side notes here that we can discuss. So my one of the theories that I have is the individual is left-handed.
Okay.
In the videos, you see them using their left hand, carrying the crowbar, carrying stuff around.
Mm-hmm.
However, in that last section, they had that box in their left hand, not the hammer.
I wish we could get a clear picture of what that is
Mm-hmm.
because I think that would answer quite a few questions and it may spark ideas as to why this even happened, but it's just not, you're not able to make it out.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't find in the autopsy anything about her having any defensive wounds.
Hmm.
I did find a snippet of a video of when she realizes that she's not alone.
Oh,
And she's walking down the hallway and she hears something and she turns her head and she pauses and then she turns around and you can just see her face as she turns around like just someone else is here, and then they cut the video. So I don't
startled.
know if that's where she gets attacked or not, but if she was a fitness instructor, she had to have been strong. She has a good endurance and stamina. She would have put up a good fight, and for her not to have any defensive wounds makes me think that she was ambushed from behind and struck
Uh-huh.
and knocked unconscious is what I
And it
think.
and it definitely, okay, it's a blitz attack. But
Mhm.
then on top of it, this is not somebody that's um, unknown to her. This isn't, just a random person.
I agree with that too. I think so. One of my theories is, and I'm kind of going out on a limb here, and I haven't seen anybody else suggest this theory, but if the police kept making these comments of that the person's gait and their walk may not be that way now, that they think it was an injury that caused
Okay.
them to walk that way, and it may have corrected itself, and the police have made that statement multiple times. So I'm going to suggest that this person was somebody in her workout group that she couldn't help, or maybe they got injured in her group or
Okay.
something along those lines, because they knew, one, how to be aware of what was going on. They knew that she had moved the workout session from the parking lot, which it normally was, to inside the building.
Hmm.
They knew where she was going to be. They knew all of that stuff. So I'm going to suggest that it was somebody that she either couldn't help, they got injured with her or something along those lines.
Could maybe she was a bully. Maybe she bullied the people in her class, and especially the ones that didn't perform to her standards.
Right. I mean, I don't get that impression. It seemed like everyone really loved her, and everybody in her fitness group even attended her funeral. There was like 150 fitness people at her funeral. So,
Damn.
so I don't get that impression at all. But
I'll be lucky if there's 3 people at mine.
another fact that I came across that I found interesting was that now we're in Texas, so I know that it's probably really not that unusual. But Missy had a handgun in her car. I
Okay.
don't know if she normally carried a handgun in her car. I mean, Texas, it's you can. Um, but to me, that just could be that maybe her intuition was saying, or maybe she had been getting threats or something, and she was, carrying it to protect herself. I couldn't
Yeah.
find anywhere that said that she normally had the handgun in her car. I mean, most people in
Mhm.
Texas have rifles and stuff. They don't have a handgun hidden in their center console.
Well, that's what I was going to say is this is Texas. So, I mean, there's quite a few people that carry guns in Texas.
But they're
And
all usually visible, and from my understanding, this was concealed
right,
in her car.
right.
The other
And
point that I want to make is so the police are unsure if the SWAT gear was authentic or not. To me, it appears to be legit.
it looks pretty legit. Yeah.
I to me it appears to be legit. And I think that it's ill-fitting. It does not fit that person. It is not meant for that person. I don't
No.
think that person is a police officer by any means because, just being military police myself, you made sure your gear fit. If you couldn't move properly, that could be your life. You did not
Exactly.
have
Yeah.
ill-fitting gear, period.
That's what I
And
was
this
going to
that
say.
stuff on whoever that was did not fit them. I almost want to say that person lived with a police officer. And if it's their SWAT gear, they may not have even noticed it was missing that night.
That's true. Because if you're not wearing it at that moment or you don't need it right at that moment,
Hmm.
you're not going to think about it.
Exactly. It's probably in the trunk of their cop car and they didn't even realize it was gone.
It's where my wife keeps her stuff is in the trunk of the
Right.
car.
And if this person lived with the cop, then they would know right where to get it.
Oh yeah. And know how to use it too.
And know how to put it. They
Yep.
probably put it on a couple of times at home.
Wow. Okay, so the idea that this could actually be a woman. Wait a minute. Has anybody thought about this potentially being a teenager?
That's another thing that I was thinking as well. I think, and so I pondered the theory of, because you can buy that kind of stuff online. For most of the places that sell this stuff, you have to call them, you have to present your police ID number. But if you lived with a police officer, it would be so easy to get that and
Yep.
order it. But I
Yep.
think that most of these places that sell this kind of gear, they're all prior law enforcement people. If they heard of anything like this, they would have been like, wait, I shipped just one SWAT uniform
Right.
there.
Hey, and it's not like this town has a kind of it has a unique name. It's not
Mhm.
like I mean,
Right.
this is Mesopotamia, Texas.
And most places are going to sell this stuff in bulk to the police department. So
Right.
I would think this one order would have thrown red flags to any of these companies to begin with.
Right. Right. And I mean, even that, just what kind of address? What address would they use to get it shipped to them? I mean, there you go. There's another identifier.
Hmm. So I don't think that they purchased it online. I just don't feel like I feel like if they did purchase the SWAT stuff online, we would have already known that.
Yeah, we would know who
I
it was.
What I think it is it's somebody that lives with a police officer.
Hmm. Or uh, janitorial,
Yeah.
maintenance, mechanics, all of them that work for a police department,
Yep.
they could get their hands on that stuff, even though they're not cops. They could get their hands on it.
Right. And yeah, the SWAT people, I mean, I don't know how they do it in every state, but around here they have that most of the SWAT team is either detectives or normal patrol, and
Hmm.
they go do their normal jobs, and then they're on a rotation of you're on SWAT duty tonight or today.
Right, right.
So
Just
they
like
may have not even been in rotation and not even known their stuff was missing because that's not the normal stuff that they wear for their day-to-day job.
right, right, absolutely. And if this is somebody that has intimate ties to law enforcement, they're going to know their schedule like the back of their hand. They're going to know which ones are going into a rotation, which ones aren't, where to get it. It is not going to
Mm-hmm.
cause any type of alarm that
Mm-mm.
this person is,
No,
able to get it.
right.
So
It could have been easily been so and so's dad. It works night shift regularly. It's their normal patrol day,
yeah.
and they just took the stuff out of the trunk of his cop car when he was sleeping that day. When he comes home from work and goes to bed, they put it right back in the trunk where they got it. He never even knew it was missing.
We had a case similar to that in our area where an off-duty police officer kept his service weapon secured in his glove compartment, and somebody broke into his car and
Oh,
knew
I've
right
heard
where that
about that.
yeah, knew right where that gun was, and they ended up killing somebody with it. And the cop, um, something happened. There was disciplinary action with the cop because his weapon wasn't secured.
Right.
So, well, what do you guys think? Leave us a tip in the comments. Let us know your theories. Let us know what we got right. Let us know what we got wrong.
Right.
And
There is several rewards for this case. There's a podcast out there that is has a reward for any indictments that come across, and then the city has a reward as well, and you can leave a tip at 972-775-3333.
it's a lot of threes.
I know, 4 3s at the end. But I mean, I feel like this is way too close to home.
Yeah.
I feel like what I really feel like is whoever's loved one did this, because it's clearly not a police officer. They're not moving around like a police officer. They don't know how to walk around in that gear. Um,
No, no.
it's
That could
clearly
be
not a cop.
that could be why they walk the way they're walking too.
Exactly,
Maybe it's
because of the gear. Yeah. Um and I think that whose ever loved one this is that did this, that police officer knows. They have
yeah.
their inklings. And I think that's maybe the downfall. It's just too close to home for that police department.
So they were able to sabotage any type of investigations.
I don't think that they sabotage. Isn't any signs of sabotage, but I think maybe that they're just not
Trying.
they're just not trying their hardest.
I can
There isn't
understand
any
that.
signs that anything was sabotaged, but to me it's like there's way too much good information for it to be unsolved. Where's the rest
Right.
of the police work? Where's the evidence of fingerprinting or anything like that? Like, where is it? Where is the rest of the police work?
Yeah.
So,
Hit us up in the comments, guys. And you know what we say? Give us a like, give us a share, give us 5 stars, 3 stars, 1 star. Just keep it to your damn self. But the downloads really help. The comments really help. Let us know what we get right, what we got wrong,
right.
and
And we are
uh,
open for constructive criticism. So if you
yes,
don't
we are.
think we deserve a 5, then give us a 3 and send us a message and let us know how we can improve.
Right. Absolutely. So with that, catch us on the flip side.
Bye.
Right. Give that